Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for having participate in this event. So while I'm trying to prepare the slides, you may take any questions to the chat. Can you see the picture, the slides, John? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so today I would like to talk about aha moment for a meaningful learning in creating book stories. We have some times for having collaborations with Ju Xiang Li. We have some collaborations both in creating and also in reviewing books stories that created by our students. Yeah. Yeah, so this is, we will talk about the current issues and then the theories behind teaching English from kids to university students. And we would like to learn a little about the theories about multimodal literacy and meaningful learning. And I would like to share about the example of the implementations of meaningful learning in the classrooms. Yeah, so we know that COVID-19 gave us such kind of stress and also challenge for having a new activities for our students. Moreover, if we have such kind of internet connections problem, and maybe it is not only from us, from the teachers, but also the problem, it could be from the students. And this is such kind of things that we would like to think about the today's issues, and also maybe it could be in the future. This is talking about best practices for implementing remote learning and remote teaching during a pandemic, and then engaging students in a fully online learning. And the other things that we can have in the future, having innovations in teacher educations at the time of COVID-19, and then how parents home educate their kids during COVID-19 period. In Indonesia, we have yeah, many problems that related to this kind of activities related to the learning and also teaching process in this time. Yeah, so we need to have a such kind of innovation and creativity. Though maybe some of us have a didn't such kind of a technology or internet connections, but technology, it doesn't mean always talking about the internet. We can use any kind of pens and also colorful pen to create this kind of stories. So, talking about uh, theories, this is talking about multimodal meaning making. So, hopefully, by having this kind of learning, the students have a such kind of aha moments in their learning. Sometimes it is not only for the students, but also as the educators, we have this kind of moment when we find that this kind of strategy is helpful or giving facilitate the students to engage in the learning process. And in the end of this process, the students have a meaningful learning. And this is the theories. Actually, this is systemic functional theories, which describe how people use language to make meanings, get things done, and to exchange products and service in context. Yeah, we know that sometimes we got such kind of a difficulty how to connect uh, the curriculum, the school curriculum, into how and then how to create the stories. But in this case, that the teachers can have a such kind of a creativity how to make it happens in our classrooms. Then this is the three dimensions of meaning making. First is additional meaning. The second one, interpersonal meaning. The third one, textual meaning. The dimensions is uh, the the dimensions that we could uh, try to dig up the human experience. So, if we talk about our students, we can take a look at the students' experience at home or in the environment when they have to cope with this kind of pandemic. So they can have a lot of stories that we can try to dig up from the students' side. The second one is the interpersonal dimensions. This is the interactive aspects of meaning and creates or enacts or maintain particular social relationship or roles. For example, in this pandemic, what happens with interpersonal relationship between the students and their parents, between the students and maybe their pets. Yeah, so this is a social context. And the third one is the textual dimensions. The textual dimensions is intrinsic to communications and connect us with the text forming resources of language or has to do with the language. So this is related to text. Yeah. And this is just kind of the other things that we should consider in teaching our students, talking about multimodality, multiple modes in semiosis or meaning making. So we can use any kind of spoken and written words, visual, image, gestures, posture, movement, sounds, or silence. We can see from the Dr. John Jusiang Lee presentations, by having such kind of sounds and then pictures, colorful pictures, we are very interested to learn and then how to create this kind of things. Yeah. So about aha moment, I think, and hopefully that some of us have this kind of experience. So this is the face representative when we got this kind of aha moment. But sometimes when we got this kind of moment, we just silent. But this is just kind of a conscious conditions when we are got the idea, what we got new insight, we have the creative things, and we have the something that may be unpredictable for from ourselves. Yeah, so this is what happens. Actually, this is related to the our brain. If the aha moment happen for all of us. Yeah, so the brain is like this. So there's this kind of a light. So interconnected each other to between neutron to other neutron. So it is light inside. Yeah, light inside, and have um, uh, created creativity. And then this is actually in medical we call it as the um, brain mapping. Yeah, brain mapping. Yeah, maybe some of you have this kind of uh, knowledge about alpha, gamma, and so you can see there is this kind of gamma aha response. So it is like moving forward for this kind of aha moment. Yeah, so creativity is a collection of a different process that work in different areas of the brain. So when we got this kind of process, it means that we have something new in our brain and also our knowledge as the new attitudes and new habits. So I would like to share about my own experience in teaching my students in university level. This is first is the listening, watching, observing, analyzing, and synthesizing. The second one is designing the lessons. The third one, practicing the lesson design. And the fourth one is reflecting and evaluating. So maybe some of us have already know about this, and then this is one of the platform that we can listen, we can watch, we can try to interact with the other students, with the other teachers, with the other educators around the world. And it is not only for educators, but also for the parents. So for the parents, we can use this kind of platform to listen and also to watch and also to discuss with other people. So we can see and we can choose thousands of videos, yeah, from this kind of platform, and this is for educations. And you can we can choose such kind of topics that related to our topic. So this is the examples. If this is related to English, so there are many or thousands kinds of videos that we can use to analyze. Yeah, why this is a why this is a good platform, because I see that this is not only for listening, but also having a discussions and thing, and then sometimes that having a such kind of a debate about what happens with the content of the video. So it should be that the students have a such kind of active learning in this point. Okay, so Dr. Ju Seong Lee using ebook and also PowerPoint to create the stories, but for me is using Story Jumper. So Story Jumper, it's free also, and if you would like to increase or develop and also to publish your own book, we can pay some money. And this is the result of my students' creativity. This is talking about batik, about tumpeng and roro jongrang. And actually, this is such kind of books, but also we have a such kind of video, but it doesn't uh, promote yet. Yeah, but this is a book too. Maybe I would like to share after this. Yeah, so this book is talking about Indonesian culture. Why? This is some of us, yeah, maybe understand, but it's only just a little. And my students having a such kind of research by reading books, by trying to find from the people that create this kind of topic, and then trying to relate with the what happens today. So this is very contextual, because it is a little bit difficult, because it is not easy to relate between Roro Jungrang Roro Jungrang and also with this kind pandemic. And then have a good illustrations and voice. This is in the video and colorful pages. So this is the process of the students do. First is analyzing the stories, as the students want to learn based on the theories and concept. So though this is creating stories, but also we have to consider about the theories behind of these stories. For my book, I use a POA approach. We use this kind of a production-oriented approach. And the second one, they discussing with friends and teachers about the content, about the stories line, and then about the illustrations. And the third one is creating stories in a group, having peer reviewing friends and teachers. And this is very interesting that in this process, the students having telecollaborative review. Telecollaborative review is I did with with Dr. Ju students. So the Dr. Ju students having a review about this kind of stories and then give a feedback what the things that can develop the stories itself. Then readers' responses. So we give the stories to the other people and then they give response, whether this is motivate or not, whether this is give such kind of sufficient assessment or not, and the other things. And then the last one is reflections. Okay, so this is the questions for the readers. Yep. Me as a teacher, we have facilitate with some activities that the students trying to find to have a readers review. Yeah. And it is surprisingly that the students, my students, have this kind of feedback. They feel that they are very happy to have this kind of review. Why? Because it motivates the students. It motivates the students to create more and more. We can see that this is the feedback from Dr. Ju review, and this is reflections, my student reflections, and this is yeah, yes, it is well organized. It is very fun of the students and readers. Appreciate your effort. Yeah, my student said that I like the first comment because she appreciates our efforts in making do it yourself story. So it motivates me to create another story. So this is talking about the students' futures. Yeah, it is not only today we try to give the lessons, but also the students himself having a such kind of implicit or intrinsic motivations. So this is the implications. Educators need to have creativity to create activities of meaning making gives a new insight for students. The meaning making stories activities impact on aha moment for students. Educators facilitate and motivate students to develop and give students space for growing. The third one is creating stories can be applied in any kind of situation and consider the student's condition, facilities, and support from schools and parents. We can see that there are some of us, maybe in Indonesia part, some of us didn't have any um, computer or facilities that support students in doing this kind of stories, but we can use colorful pen and also paper. They can write in any paper. And after that, if there's this kind of mobile phones, they can create using mobile phones and then having a such kind of photos. Okay, so maybe for the participants, if you would like to have additional tasks, you can design a lesson using multimodal meaning making and share your experience in designing lessons with multimodal meaning making in your online classrooms. You can use TED, YouTube, poems, songs, or any materials for supporting in designing the lessons. I would like to share the stories. This is Tumpeng. Yeah, Tumpeng. Tumpeng. And this is this is my students. Okay, so this is the pictures. They do this kind of task in group. Yeah, yeah. So, however, in actually there's this kind of a voice here, but I would like not to use the voice. And tumpang is from Javanese terminology in Indonesia called tumapaking laku kang lempeng tumuju ing pangeran. For Hong Kong students, they are the first time that read about tumpang. So we introduce our culture to other people about this kind of food. It is a very nice to have this kind of collaborations. Yeah. So you see that this is a um okay. So and what is the related to the pandemic? So my students and I having a discussions about this, and by consuming tumpang, Indonesian preserve their cultural heritage. Moreover, curcumin, protein, calories, fat, carbohydrates, and blah blah blah, help to maintain our immune system in the pandemic of COVID-19. Okay, so this is only just giving us such kind of things that this is still related to what happens today.